Hi, how are you doing? It's me, Lerone Kuntz, and this is On the Stoop with Lerone Kuntz. I'm here in Brooklyn on my stoop in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York, where On the Stoop originally started right here on my stoop in Brooklyn. And it's so good to be home here in Brooklyn. I usually am in my home in Atlanta. I'm here in Brooklyn today. It's good to be here. It's a beautiful day. And I just want to talk to y'all for 1 minute about the interview that I heard with Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Now, of course, the media had a heart attack concerning this interview. This interview between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and it has been heard, because it was just audio, it has been heard by over 1 billion people. It has been heard 1 million times, 1 billion times, 1 billion times. So a lot of people have heard this interview between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and you're probably one of the people that have heard this. But if you aren't, then maybe you should take a listen to at least some of it. You don't have to sit through the whole 2 hours or however long it is. I suggest that you listen to some of this, because this is very important information from two men who are very powerful and influential. You have a former president who's vying to be the 47th president, and then you have the richest man in the world who owns X, sitting down together and talking. And they're not just talking about, what happened today in sports or their golf games and stuff. They're talking about world events, and they're talking about the economy. They're talking about energy. They're talking about immigration. They're talking about foreign relations. They are talking about things that matter, okay? And it's a long-form interview with just two giants actually talking. And this is sort of like a rare moment in history where you have the richest man in the world talking to the ex-president, and everybody can listen to it. And it's been heard or viewed more than 1 billion times. So if you're not aware of this, and if you haven't taken a few minutes out of your day, or 30 minutes or hour, however long time that you have to listen to this interview, then you're missing out. You're really missing out. The media, of course, they had a fit that these two people sat down and had, hey brother, how you doing, man? All right. That these two people sat down and had a conversation. They can't stand it. You know why they can't stand it? Because they don't want you to hear anything that doesn't come through them. They feel that they are the gatekeepers, and if they don't condone it, or they don't schedule it, or they don't have an influence over the conversation, then you shouldn't hear it. So they're going to tell you, it was crappy, this, that, the other. And look, listen to it for yourself. See for yourself. They're talking about immigration. They're talking about the economy. They're talking about energy. They're talking about different forms of energy. They're talking about solar energy, nuclear energy, gas, liquefied gas. They're talking about everything that affects you, that affects the world, and that shows a stark contrast between what Kamala Harris is doing at this point. She's been the nominee for almost 4 weeks now, and she has not sat down with anyone and had a conversation, more or less Elon Musk or anyone of real consequence. She has not sat down with anyone. And I don't hear anything concerning policy coming out of her rallies other than her stealing Donald Trump's idea of not taxing tips. But in terms of the economy, in terms of immigration, it's really not much as she could say. So I guess that's why she's not having, hey brother, how you doing? They're not having any type of interviews for her now. And I think they just want to just see how far they can go without having to put down any type of policy program for America. And they just want to just try to distract you by talking about Trump. Like, Trump's campaign is about America, all right? Now, whether you like what he's saying or not, or whether you like him or not, his focus is America. So he's talking about the impact of immigration. He's talking about trade. He's talking about interest rates. He's talking about the economy. He's talking about inflation. He's talking about these things, right? When I hear Harris talk, or I hear people that represent her talk, they're just talking about Trump. Like, Trump's campaign is about America, and Harris's campaign is about Trump. What I like is the long-form interview. I don't like stage interviews where the candidate says 2 lines and then the interviewer just takes off with it and agrees with the candidate. No, I don't want to hear that. You can speak with canned answers for like 20 minutes, but after that, then what you say is probably what you really think, and you're probably off the script at that point, right? So that's what I like to hear. That's why I listen to Joe Rogan, because he does the long form interview. Joe Rogan does Lex Friedman, as well as Tucker Carlson. You know, he does long form interviews, and now Elon Musk is doing long form interviews, and that's what we need. We need to be treated as adults. Okay, we can sit in the room and have a conversation, or we can listen to adults have a conversation about the things that are affecting the world and discern what's good or what's not good for us. We don't need to have so many middlemen chopping up phrases and feeding it to us. Oh yeah, he said this in a 30-minute interview or a 2-hour long-form interview. He said this, and they're telling you 2 seconds of what Trump said, and they're trying to make it seem like you're going to actually be able to discern what it is that they're talking about. And they do this all the time. This is how the media keeps their power, that they don't tell you what you need to know. They'll play a clip from something that's very important, and then the clip will be like 30 seconds. But then they'll spend all day telling you about that clip. That's how they control the narrative. Don't let them do it. When you have the opportunity to hear people speak for yourself, listen to them speak for themselves. Do not take the media's point of view, because oftentimes it's skewed. When you get an opportunity to go to a rally, go to the rally yourself and live and breathe the atmosphere and determine for yourself the demeanor, the purpose, the intent of the speaker. I went to Trump's rally in Atlanta 2 weekends ago. It was a great experience for me. I've been to Hillary Clinton's rally. I've been to Bernie Sanders' rally, you know. So I'm not just saying go to the candidate that you like's rally. I'm saying go to all the rallies if you can. If you can't do that, and if you can hear them in a long form interview, then you should listen. And you can determine whether or not you agree or disagree. Don't let the media form your opinion. If there's other information out there that you can access yourself, okay? Tucker Carlson's interview with Vladimir Putin, I would advise everybody to go back and listen to that. That's a 2-hour interview. Very informative. You don't have to like Vladimir Putin or anything like that, but I have respect for him because he sat down for 2 hours and explained his whole perspective on the Ukrainian war. Now, you may disagree with what he said, but at least you know he is straight up front telling you why they're at war, what's the history? I mean, it was such an interesting interview. First, he sat down with Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson is shooting questions at him, and he's explaining the history of Russia and Ukraine. And Tucker Carlson is trying to, rush him on and get to the next question. And he stops Tucker Carlson. He says, listen, he says, do you want to have a show or do you want to do a real interview? Like, let me know now whether it's just a show or you really want to, learn. And Tucker Carlson had to catch himself because he was falling into that interviewer, journalist / commentator mode that he was in on Fox News, where you only have like 2 minutes to get them to say something, that they don't want to say, so you can run with it. So Vladimir stopped him and said, hey, listen, man, I thought you wanted to have an interview. I thought you wanted to sit down and talk. If you want to have a show, let me know. We can do that too. But I came here under the pretense of having a discussion with you. So Tucker Carlson had to pull back and says, you know what? Yeah, let's have this discussion. And this discussion went on for 2 hours. And Vladimir Putin had documents, treaties, things that were signed, historical documents. And he said, and he had it in the binder, and he told Tucker Carlson, he said, listen, I made this binder for you. You take this binder with you when you leave of all of these documents to see whether or not what I'm telling you is true. That, I had so much respect for Vladimir Putin at that point, because we don't get that. We don't get our politicians sitting down and actually opening themselves up for questioning and being required to explain their course of actions, what they're doing and why. We didn't get Biden sitting down with the American people and discussing why is it that we're sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. We didn't get any of that. We got sound bites. We got canned speeches. We did not get real adult discussions about it. That's all we want. This is the information age. Let's talk about these things and let's see what's right and what's wrong. But the media does not want to do that. And Kamala Harris definitely does not want to do that, because she has gone a month without having a conversation where she faces the press. And I don't mean the normal, usual suspect press that are just going to feed her softballs and she already knows the questions and she already has written out the answers by speechwriters and stuff like that. I'm talking about real interviews where she sits down and answers questions with an impartial questioner or somebody who is going to push her. She's not going to have it. So what's going to happen now, because the media has seen this Trump-Elon interview, and Trump is going all over the place giving interviews, as well as J.D. Vance, the media is pushing now for Harris to give an interview, right? They can't even defend her anymore. They're trying, and they're stumbling. They can't really defend the fact that she has not done an interview. And they want the interview so bad because they want to break the news. They want to say, oh, I got Kamala Harris to sit down with me. So you know what that means? That means that they're going to agree to whatever terms Kamala Harris has, because she's kept them waiting this long, and she's going to say, well, I don't want to sit down with him because he's going to ask me the wrong questions. I want to sit down with this person, and they better not push me because I'm going to give them the exclusive. And so she's going to make sure that the lane is clear, that she has all the answers to all the questions, because she's going to have all the questions ahead of time. So even when she does sit down, it's going to be fake, okay? Because she's not going to just stand and defend her policies, because there's nothing to defend. The economy is jacked up. Rents are up 20 some odd percent. Food is up 20 some odd percent. Gas is up. Come on. The whole economy is jacked. The whole world affairs are jacked up. We didn't have any wars, any major conflicts when Trump was president. Now we have Israel worrying about whether or not they're going to get attacked by Iran today, and these are two nuclear powers. And then you have the whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, which is also a potentially nuclear conflict. And I'm not even going to get into Yemen and China and Taiwan. That's the whole nother issue that we have going on. And these people have not, the people that's supposed to represent us, they have not sat down and talked with our adversaries, as if that is not what they're supposed to do. If you are a world leader and there's conflict in the world, you need to talk to your people that you're having a conflict with, not continuing to have conversations with your allies. We know where they stand. It's time for you to sit down with our enemies and make peace. But this is not on the agenda. Let's be clear. That's not on the Harris agenda. There will be no peace talks, okay? This thing is just going to keep escalating until our kids are going to be fighting over in Europe. They're going to be fighting over in Israel. So don't think that you can just turn a blind eye to this, because eventually it's going to affect you too. Now, the one thing that I want to say before I go, in terms of people who are looking at this election from an emotional standpoint. When I say emotion, I mean they're like, oh, I like Harris, I don't like Trump. As if you're going to sit down and have dinner with these people like they're going to be part of your family and they're going to be at your family. They're not. You don't have to like them or dislike them. You just got to determine which one is going to do the job that you want done. Simple as that. That's all. I don't have to like you. I don't need you to be a role model for my kid. I'm the role model for my kid. I don't need for you. I don't care whether you're sleeping around. I don't care about that. I want to know what you're going to do for the economy. I want to know what you're going to do in terms of immigration. I want to know what you're going to do in terms of world peace, things that directly affect me. So what I'm saying to people who are all in their feelings, and you talk to people about Trump, oh, I don't like him. I don't like how he talks. Hey, brother, how you doing? I don't like what he said to this person. He called this one a loser. Get out your feelings. It's not about that, okay? It's about whether he can do the job. Last winter, I had an issue in this house with my gas line. I had a gas leak in the middle of the winter, and we smelled gas. We called the gas company. They came out, they cut off the gas. They said, you got a gas leak, you got to get it fixed. You got to get a master plumber out here and you got to get it fixed. Once you get the work done, first you got to get a permit to get the work done. Then when you get the work done, then you have to have the buildings department come out and inspect. And after you get them to inspect and they okay it, then we'll have somebody come and turn your gas back on. Now this is winter. I got to get this done, right? Yeah, it's going to cost some money because they got me now. So when I call the master plumbers, yeah, it's going to cost me money, but I'm still not going to just consent to anything. I want to talk to you. I want references. I want guarantees. I want to know that you know what you're doing. And I want to compare prices between the master plumbers that I'm calling. I want to make sure that I'm getting a great deal. I don't care whether the person is dressed in a suit and tie or he's got overalls on with dirt underneath his fingers. That's not concerning to me. All right, I just need the job done, and I need it done right, and I need this gas on. I need a schedule. I need somebody who's reliable with a track record, as well as guarantees. Okay, somebody who's going to stand behind it and stand by their work. That's what I need. And I got the work done. Everything's running smooth now. But the point I'm trying to make is that you're looking at the president as if he's somebody that you got to sit down and have dinner with, that you're going to bring home to your mother, that they're going to party with you, they're going to drink with you. No. The plumber that I chose, I don't care if he's sleeping around. I don't care how he speaks to people. All I want to know is he's going to do the job for the price that we agreed on, and it's going to get done. And when you pick a president, this is a business. This is a business decision. It's not a personality thing. The person who can get the job done, that's who you hire. If you know that this person can get it done, then you hire him. If you know that Trump had the immigration down to 30,000 a month, and then you see that Kamala had it up to 250,000 a month, then you know that she doesn't know how to do the job, or she's not willing to do the job. That's all you need to know. If you know that your rent was 25% lower 4 years ago, and now it's 25% higher, that's all you need to know. I don't care how you dress. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your gender is. I see the result for myself. I've seen all I need to see. So now I'm just voting based on who's going to do the job coming next. I already saw what Trump did. I already saw what Camilla did. Now, Camilla doesn't even want to come to the mic and try to make up for what she did. She doesn't want to come to the mic and say, yo, I made a mistake with the immigration thing. I made a mistake with the economy. She's not even saying that. She's just saying, hey, let's just twerk about it. Let me teach you a new dance step. Let me do a TikTok dance for you. Let me quote a rap lyric for you, and you need to vote for me for that. No. And that's how it looks like people are voting. Like, you want Kamala Harris because she's a woman of color. Doesn't matter what type of job she has done. Doesn't matter what type of job she's going to do. Her track record, none of that. It's just that we want this person to be our rep, or the person that's going to sell me the car. Even though I'm going to pay 25% more and I'm going to get the lemon car, it doesn't matter. I'll just take it because it's Kamala Harris giving it to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. And we need to step out of it. Focus on policy, on facts, things that are actually going to impact your life, right? That's the only thing that matters. I don't need you to be a role model for my kids. I'm the role model for my kids. I don't need you to talk nice to me. It doesn't matter. The guy that came to the house, I don't care to fix my pipes. I don't care how you talk to your people when you get in the truck, whether they like you or not. I don't care. And that's the equivalent to how Trump talks to people. He talks to his peers like this. These are his peers that he's calling losers and stuff like that. His political enemies. I don't care. Call them what you want. Fix my damn pipes. That's all I want to know. Fix my damn pipes. Then me and you was cool in the game. You can go back to talking to them however you want to talk to them after you fix my damn pipes. Fix my damn pipes. That's what I'm saying. Fix this damn country. That's all. I don't gotta like you. You don't gotta like me. I don't have to sleep with you. I don't even have to see you. I don't have to have dinner with you. I'm not sitting across the table from you. I'm not doing any of that. Just fix my damn pipes. That's all. So I can turn my heat on. Speaking of heat, gas prices are up. Camilla and them and the liberals and the progressives, they want to act like they're so concerned about global warming, or what they call it now, climate change, right? What is the climate going to be in your house this winter when gas prices are 25% higher? That's what you need to be thinking about. What's going to be the climate in your house? What's the climate in your house now that it's 90 degrees out here and you're spending more money on your electric bill than you thought you were going to be spending? You're spending 25% more now than you were spending 4 years ago. What's going to be the climate in your car as you're driving down the road and you're spending 25% more for gas? What's that going to look like? And also, what's going to be the condition of the climate if there's a nuclear war? You ever thought of that? What is the impact on the climate when right now you have over 20,000 missiles being fired every day over in Ukraine? What is that? What is the impact on the environment now? When you calculate that into it, they're not talking about that. They're not talking about the death and destruction. The people in Ukraine were just like you. I'm not talking about Zelensky and the leadership. I'm talking about the people who were actually impacted by this war. They are people just like you. They were going to the mall on the weekend. They were playing video games after school. They were planning what university we're going to go to. They were taking tests, to sort of like a SAT. to find out where they were going to be accepted. They had the same dreams and aspirations as you do. But guess what? Now their mall is rubble. Now their schools are burnt down. Now 500,000 Russian and Ukrainian young people, just like you, are dead now. Young men are dead. Millions displaced, had to go to other countries, Poland and France and all these other locations because their homes are destroyed now. You need to be thinking about that. These young people were just like you. Now they on the front line fighting and dying. Elon Musk said something a few months ago. He said that war is young men that don't know each other fighting for old men who know each other. If your candidate is not talking about peace or how she's going to get to peace, then you don't need to be messing with it. Because eventually it's going to get to the point where this is going to directly affect you or your children or both. Okay? So think about those things. Thanks for hanging out with me once again on the Stoop in Brooklyn. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep in touch. If you want us to keep in touch and keep having these conversations. And until next time, as always, peace and stay safe.